My dad was a physician. As a kid, I remember driving around with him on weekends so he could do his rounds at the hospital and talk to patients. We'd spend time in the car talking about what was going on with them, their stories. You can invest in companies. You can help grow companies. You can be a venture capitalist and be a philanthropist at the same time. Technologists come at a problem from the point of view that the system is working a certain way, and if I engage in that system and actually change the rules of the system, I can make it work a different way. Companies in Silicon Valley invest a lot in understanding their users and what drives user engagement. In order to access private capital, you have to provide competitive return on investment. In order to give competitive returns to investors, you've got to operate on a profitable basis and be thinking of yourself as a business. In February of 1996, about 6 months after I created eBay, I started receiving a spate of complaints. Everyone was complaining about each other. I felt very much like I was a parent who had to adjudicate the brothers beating each other up. I had the notion that, okay, so now we have all of this wealth, we could buy not only one expensive car, we could buy all of them. As soon as you realize that you could buy all of them, then none of them are particularly interesting or satisfying. I developed an interest in supporting independent journalists in a way that leverages their work to the greatest extent possible, all in support of the public interest. I developed an interest in supporting independent journalists in a way that leverages their work to the greatest extent possible, all in support of the public interest. As a philanthropist, I try to help people take ownership. Everything I've done is rooted in the notion that every human being is born equally capable. What people lack is equal opportunity. In terms of my belief that one individual can make a difference, that belief comes from my parents. I have always been of the opinion that the right kind of journalism is a critical part of our democracy. Advertisers don't want to put their ads next to the investigative story, it's extremely difficult to do that. And very few people today actually read those serious news stories on the web now. I had always been interested in markets, specifically, the theory that in financial markets, goods will trade at a fair value only when everyone has access to the same information. A lot of people don't just go ahead and try things.